Okay, hi, it's Paul Green. We're just doing a quick live stream just to let you guys know about the Ethical Awards, which launched at the end of July. I'm joined by one of the sponsors and judges, Julie, so thanks for coming along today.
Very welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
Do you want to say a little bit about who you are and what you do for anybody that's tuning in that might not know you?
Who might not know me. So my name is Julie Futcher, and as you can see from the sign behind me, my business is called The Sales Ace. And what I do is I provide sales training, sales consultancy services, which help businesses, I mean, the official line is skyrocket their sales. What it actually looks like is training, development, coaching, mentoring. All of those go under that banner to really help any size business, from somebody just starting out in life to, I think my largest client has about 250 50 people and a sales team of about 30, 40 people internally and externally. So it's all of those. That's what I do.
Okay, excellent. So the intention of these is just to give anybody watching live or anybody watching on a replay an overview of what the Ethical Awards are all about, and just open it up to anybody that's got any questions, either live or you can always tag us on a replay and we can answer your questions. So the intention of setting these awards up was not to make out that the whole award industry is full of rogue and dodgy ceremonies. There are a few bad apples amongst it, and in conversation with various people, I thought, wouldn't it be good just to give a level playing field for any small business anywhere in the UK to enter and stand a fair chance of winning, without it being based on them having to pay for an award or anything like that. And what we've tried to do is make it as easy as possible for anybody to enter, and to the point where the judges, they just get anonymous entries. By that I mean there's no indication of who the business is, there's no indication of the person that's applied, and it's purely judged on advanced criteria given in advance, and the judge is just looking at black and white questions on one time and black and white answers on the other, and marking it accordingly. So the other thing is that it's very clear in each of the categories what the different criteria are, so it's you know what you're up against, and you know what we're looking for. So Julie, do you want to say a little bit about why you got involved, other than me twisting your arm, and the type of things that you're looking for as a judge? What would appeal to you from people thinking of entering?
Okay, so yes, the twisting of my arm was a small sort of element. No, it wasn't really. I think you've summed up the reason that I wanted to be involved in these awards, because of what the values of the Ethical Awards and what you wanted to achieve with them. I think I've entered some awards in some times, and then sort of rocked back in my heels at the cost of it. And and I've seen firsthand on how some of these things are judged, and I just don't agree with it. So these sorts of awards, with the values that we have and how we're going to judge them, was one of the things that I thought, yeah, I'd like to be involved in that. Why did I want to be a judge? Well, I believe that it's really hard work and really difficult running your own business and being involved in businesses. And I think to have some award as a recognition to which says, well done on everything you've achieved, is important. And to have a level playing field from anybody, whether you are, somebody on your own within business, or a business that has employees and an infrastructure, wherever you sit, I think it's really important, that recognition, because when you work for yourself, that is lacking sometimes. So that was kind of a big driver for me. The growth category was something that I really could get on board with, because those of you that know me very well know that I had a business called The Sales Manager. I had 2019, so January 2019 till, well, just before COVID, we grew dramatically, massively, and it was baptism of fire. It was something that I learned a hell of a lot of lessons going through. Some of it was planned, some of it was the mantra of I'll say yes and worry about how I'm going to get there later. And I really want to take my hat off to those businesses that do go through growth, whether it's a small amount of growth, whether it's a large amount of growth. And that's why this category, I suppose, really appealed to me, because when we finished with the growth spurt that we did, I think myself and my management team, the people that work with me, we all kind of stood in a corner and went, we did it, we did it. And to have some sort of award to say well done would have been fabulous. So
no, get that. So let me just share the categories with a little ticker tape going along at the bottom. It's worth pointing out that some of the things that we're looking at in the various categories, we're looking at some of the challenges that businesses have faced as well. Yeah. So we're asking people to give us feedback on that, 'cause it's interesting to know, how they've overcome hurdles and what have you. It's 10 categories, not easy to say, which seemed like a nice number to sort of like kick off what hopefully will be annual awards. So we're looking at business person, young business, small business, growth business, team, innovation, customer service, employer, technology, and green. So pretty much that covers all the categories that, well, not all the categories, it covers categories that most businesses will probably be able to slot into one or other of them. And I think the other thing to point out is, which unlike any awards I've come across, is you will get feedback. So if you apply, if you don't become a finalist, if you don't win, or even if you do win, you can actually get feedback. So what that means is, if you're unsuccessful this year in your application, you can get some feedback from all of the judges, which in itself I think is quite valuable to let you know of areas of improvement. And likewise, if you happen to win, you'll also know what stood out on your particular application as well. So I think that's quite valuable to have, just in case, because I found that historically when I'd applied for certain awards, didn't get it, that's fine, not everybody wins, but I wanted some feedback and it just wasn't forthcoming, and it's so frustrating, because people put efforts into putting the application together, and if you're not successful, that would be useful to know what you could do differently, and that the application process isn't that complex. It's around about 6 to 8 questions for you to fill in. It's all done online. It's all done via the website, which is ethical-awards.co.uk. Something a little bit different, unlike some award ceremonies where you may enter for free. We are doing a nominal admin fee. That's just to cover the costs of collating all these awards and making sure the judges get to see them blindly, but there's no obligation to attend an award ceremony. Often I come across these things that you've got to go along. As good and even as they are, it can be quite an expense for a small business. So hopefully with some of the things that we're doing, we are leveling the playing field. And for anybody watching or listening to this, you'll be encouraged to put your name forward, whether you're a big, small, new, established business, doesn't really matter. Just look at the categories and give it a go. If nothing else, you get a nice little badge to put on your website and your marketing to let people know that you've entered. So is there anything else you want to add, Julie, from your point of view?
Yeah, I suppose, so for the category that I'm sponsoring, which is growth, I want to say to people, it doesn't have to be massive growth. You could have grown in a small way. What I'm looking for, I think, as a judge on this is how you've done it, how you've planned it. If you didn't plan it, how did you then plan it? What did you learn? How did you get over some of the hurdles? I think it's about sort of the mindset of the business owner and their growth. So I don't want anybody sitting there thinking, well, I only had a little bit of growth and it won't be worthy. It's worthy. It is all about, your thought process. I've always said that, people's goals are people's goals. We should never compare, what you want to achieve in your business with somebody else. So if you only wanted a small amount of business, that's absolutely fantastic. You've achieved your goals, but tell me how you did it. Tell me how you got there. And that's what I'm looking for. I am not going to judge this just purely on somebody who had the largest percentage against their turnover.
Yeah, I think that's why we've put things in around, what were the challenges, that type of thing, just to understand what a business went through. There's a couple of catch-all questions in there in each of the categories. So we've chosen about, I think, between 4 and 5 sort of fixed questions, if you like, but the other 2 questions, which gives you the opportunity to expand on your application, which is where you can build in some of these extra things that you think may clinch it for you, is why would you why should you win the award versus anything else? And then just, is there anything else that you want to support your application? So it gives you a little bit of freedom to actually put something in there that may sway the judges your way. And as you said, you know, it wouldn't, growth is a track record. Growth is, you know, if you're a startup business and you're turning 10K now, you know, that's quite a significant growth from zero. So it's, you know, it's judging it on, you know, just the merits of the application as a whole. So like I say, ethical-awards.co.uk. Please give it a go. You stand a chance of winning versus anybody else. That's
yes, come on, get those applications in.
We'll end it there. Thanks, Julie.